And we're back in the room once again, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome once more to the Caiman Show, the gift that keeps on giving. As always, have I got a treat for you. Joining me today, he is the owner of the Butcher's Arms, the owner of Butcher's Arms Outdoor Activities. Correct me if I'm wrong there. And when we're normally out on a Sunday afternoon going for a leisurely stroll, if we look up in the sky, we might see him passing us by in his plane. I give you, ladies and gentlemen, my friend, now yours as well, Mr. Huw Carey. Welcome to the show. How the devil are we?
Well, first, thanks for having me on the show, and I'm very well, and I must say you're looking very well.
Well, you know, it's a Tuesday today, so if you caught me on a Sunday or maybe even a Monday, it may have been another story. But yeah, I'm getting by today, mate. All is good. So things are busy for yourself at the moment. Things are very busy for yourself at the moment. I read a status on Facebook. I was tired reading it, to be honest with you. So yeah, you're a very busy man.
Yeah, very busy with obviously different things happening with the Butcher's Pub, and we have a bunkhouse and with a brew pub. So that part of the business is very, very busy, but completely separate, as you mentioned earlier, we have the outdoor business as well, which has really sort of kicked on, showing there is a need, and following, you know, the mental health issues and the lockdowns from the pandemic.
Definitely.
People are absolutely desperate to get out in the outdoors and enjoy themselves after being sort of confined to barracks, if you like, for so long. And yesterday we had the good news that we have a 14-week course for alternative learning with Banter School, 15-year-olds. So again, it's great to be able to help those guys that maybe wouldn't leave school with any formal GCSEs, and now they will leave school with some form of qualification.
That's fantastic. That's awesome stuff. We'll delve more into the outdoors bit as we come along now, as we go along now, if that's all right, mate. But that's fantastic. I did read that on the magic book as well. Fly-in though. Let's talk about fly-in first of all, if we can. That's something people are obviously going to want to hear about. How and why did you get into this, first of all? It's not something that you've mentioned schools. It's not something they teach you at school, is it?
No, and I don't know if I should be saying this really, but
go on.
I was quite fortunate that I had a job working for a Scottish company where I was a field service engineer, and field service manager, and the equipment was brand new. It was just so reliable. I literally did nothing for months on end. So as I said, I shouldn't really be saying that, but you know, I did speak to my boss, and he said that's what we want to hear because that's maximum profit for us. You're not out using parts and fuel. So I was driving past Swansea Airport one day, seeing some microlights taking off. So I thought, oh, I wouldn't mind a go at that. And cut a long story short, a year later, I was a flying instructor. A year later after that, I was a flying examiner, and I've been flying ever since. And that was 30 odd years ago.
Wow. Brilliant. And so is that something you still do now, the instructing and the examining, or is it just leisure now for you?
Yeah, my instructor ratings now has lapsed. Unfortunately, then I had to work for a living, so I didn't have time to do the flying part of it, but to do the instructing part, sorry. But I still enjoy flying. I enjoy doing some aerobatics and a little bit of touring. I don't get much time to do it as I used to, but it's still a bit of fun. I enjoy taking friends and family flying, and it's just seeing the enjoyment or terror on their faces.
I can imagine. Have you had anyone like that then? Anyone freaking out when they've been up with you? Or?
Oh, absolutely. There's a taxi driver from Merthyr.
Name him?
A Mr. Neil Hodges that I flew to Ireland. Yeah. So we flew to Ireland on a sort of Guinness weekend. And as we landed in Dublin, the next morning we got up to find that he'd left a note on his bed and said, bugger that, I'm off down the train to Wexford, ferry across, and his old man couldn't Hatwood West. He wouldn't fly back. So yeah, we
couldn't knock the pace, could he? Oh, brilliant. So he made his own way back. He snuck off like a thief in the night and made his own way back home from Ireland.
Exactly what happened, yeah.
That's fantastic. Brilliant. Anyone else, or are they mostly quite receptive of your journeys in the air?
Oh, we've had a few screamers, but also we've had a few people that really enjoy it as well. My wife, for example.
Yeah, she just I just done a cameo there in the background.
Yeah, she's making tea. She's got the important job.
Ah, good stuff. Can't fault her.
But she's not a lover of flying in general, not even to go on holiday. So she
Yeah.
doesn't like the light aircraft stuff and gets a bit nervous.
Ah, right. Oh, does she still go up with you though? Yeah.
She's been up a couple of times, but she's not, as I say, it's not one of her favourite pastimes.
It's not her cup of tea, pun intended.
No, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So let's talk a bit about the butchers then, as in the pub. So a pub is been around ever since I came to this earth. So how, where, when, and why did this come about? Elaine, how, where, when, and why did this come about? How did you take it over?
Right. So I spent many years working on the other side of the world, working in the Far East, Australia, New Zealand. I was in Australia every 4 weeks, basically, for the best part of 10 years, New Zealand every 6 weeks. So I was sick of living in a metal tube and traveling. So I'm not the type of person that can just retire. I'm too active.
Can't keep still.
Yeah, absolutely. So I thought when I come back, want to look at businesses that I can get involved with. Looked at the business, the butchers, and seen it as a turnaround business. It wasn't performing as well as I thought it could, and that's what we're in the middle of doing. So I thought we can both get involved in a local business. Elaine was an estate agent for all her working life, basically, and it's something we can build together. Originally a short-term plan, but the pandemic has sort of lengthened that. And
hasn't it just?
Yeah, but what's crazy is it's helped us because we couldn't have done all the work without the lockdowns.
Yeah, without the time to fit it in, like, yeah.
Absolutely. And I must say, Merthyr Council have been fantastic in helping with grants and so on for outside. So
brilliant stuff. That's nice to hear.
Yeah, they've really helped us, and a lot of other businesses in the town as well. So it would have been very difficult to get everything done without the help of the local council.
Shout out to you. Brilliant. You mentioned, it wasn't performing as you could see that the potential they had. Obviously, I've drank a Ponsticill for years, off and on. As I often. Well, I try the odd one or two, Hey, it's Gwen's favorite pub now, as well. But yeah, she's
your favorite customer.
She's great, man. She's brilliant. Shout out, Gwen. I know you're listening. I know you're watching. But yeah, obviously, I've seen a massive change since you've taken it over, and that's not just me trying to blow smoke up your ass and get a free beer out of you, all right? So there's other things I can do for that free beer, right? Just keep it clean though.
Yeah, say no sexual favors.
Oh no. Hell, I'm a taken man. You're a taken man. It is what it is. But yeah, I've seen a massive turnaround. It's basically busied right up again. That pub has, it seems to be thriving now. What have you done to get them all in, or have they just followed you, or what? It's definitely turned around. It's definitely spun around, and it's to me, it looks like one of the busiest pubs in the borough now.
Yeah, I think what's helped is the work again from the help of the council to make the outdoor seating as nice as it is, because we are consistently told that it has one of the best views of any pub in the borough because you're overlooking the mountain. There's nothing in the way. You can see the steam train going past, and if we have the weather, it's quite a nice place to spend some time. Yeah,
I can relate to that. Yeah,
we've completely refreshed the inside as well. It was looking tired, and yeah, everyone's worked hard. All our staff are fantastic. The girls in the kitchen really work hard. And we've got some great youngsters working with us who are really good with customers.
Excellent stuff. Brilliant. Nice. It's great. It's nice. You always get a welcome. It's one of those pubs, right? And there aren't many of them, right? But it's one of those pubs you can go in on your own quite comfortably, sit down, have an hour, 2 hours, have a day if you want, and you're guaranteed a welcome, guaranteed a chat, guaranteed some good ale, some good snacks. It's marvelous. What more could you want?
Are you saying we talk too much?
I'm saying you talk enough. That's what I'm saying. You talk enough. That's why I asked you on. But let's talk a bit about the bunkhouse as well then. A lot of people may not be familiar with the bunkhouse and everything as well. So what's the situation there? How does that work? How does that run?
So integral to the pub, we have 2 rooms, one with 10 bunk beds and the other room with 8 bunk beds, so we can accommodate 18 people. We're on booking.com and Airbnb, but we also take bookings directly. Most of the guys who get staying in the bunkhouse are either walking on the beacons. We've got a close tie to a group of special forces lads that come and commemorate, in November, the fallen. And also Bike Park Wales brings a lot of custom in for us.
Yeah, I'd imagine it would, yeah.
Yeah, the bunkhouse is very, very tiring. It's hard work because you're up late, you're cleaning up, then you're up early to make breakfast and so on. We could probably fill the bunkhouse 7 days a week, all year round.
Oh, wow.
But we do close it down so we can get some rest time as well.
Otherwise, yeah. That's important, I think, yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Do you want to just, talking of rest time, do you want to just recap that status I read this morning? You know the one I'm on about. It's just run with it if you can remember. I read this. It was a tiring status on Facebook, basically, just telling us how busy you are. Give us a little recap of it if you can remember.
All right. So yeah, we're fully booked. We're also going to run some British canoeing coaching award courses from the pub.
Yeah.
So in terms of next week, I'm in North Wales all week on a 5-day expedition, and it's really good to see that there's 70-mile-an-hour winds and torrential rain next week while I'm camping for a week.
Brilliant.
My luck, yeah. We've got the canoeing courses coming up. We've obviously got all the stuff now with Cabartha School, which is every week for 14 weeks.
That's brilliant.
And then we've, obviously on top of that, we have running the pub and other bunkhouse bookings in between. So it's very, very busy.
Brilliant stuff. Well, we're looking at the outdoors, and let's talk a bit about that. How, where, when, and why did that come about? Then is that something you've always had a hand in, or what's the situation here?
Yes, it is. Going back, giving my age away now. Going back 40 years ago, I used to work at Doligare Outdoor Pursuit Centre, or Outdoor Education Centre as it was then.
Yeah.
When Clive Roberts was the warden up there, and used to do, I had an SI in canoeing, senior instructor in whitewater kayaking, and did my ML training and everything else while I was up there, my mountain leadership. So that was a long time ago. I probably spent 6-7 years working up there part-time, because I was working as an electrician and an apprentice and so on. Really enjoyed it. So in the meantime, I've always been an outdoor person. I've always carried on climbing and walking and mountain biking and everything else, and canoeing and kayaking. So I thought, let's use that and start what I think is an additional outdoor activity centre that's needed. We have Parkwood who are brilliant up in Doligare.
Yeah.
But, a lot of the time we have different markets. So, we're not trying to step on anybody's toes. It's literally, I think, service in demand that is still there.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And you've got everything on the doorstep as well, so it makes sense to put it into play,
Yeah, and we are a Merthyr company, not company, it's a Merthyr club, offering the people of Merthyr low-cost outdoor activities. It's not for profit at all. Everything that we have left over, which isn't a lot, just gets reinvested into more equipment.
Excellent.
So we can just broaden it, yeah. So, recently we've started adding like archery, for example, because a lot of
fantastic.
kids are interested in archery.
Yeah.
And things like that. And we continue to look at stuff like that that's a little bit different. We do activity stag weekends, for example, where, the stag party comes and we give them days of bashing on the mountain, on the river. They have a wonderful time. Try and tire them as much as we can, so they're not too rowdy in the evenings in the pub. But we've had some really, really good parties there. Really good guys.
Brilliant stuff. That's awesome. It's fantastic. So where can people find out more about this, Huw?
Okay, so they can look on we have a Facebook page, which is the Butcher's Arms Outdoor Adventures. You can find links to that and information on the Butcher's Arms website and on the Butcher's Arms itself Facebook page. I'm in the middle of writing a new website for the outdoor activity. We partner with a company called Outdoor Active Life. I mentioned Clive Roberts earlier. Clive has been doing this for a long, long time and used to be head of all the outdoor activity centres in South Wales. He was the warden in Doligare, but also overseeing all the others. So very experienced guy. He has instructors working for him that have been with him 20 years plus. Very experienced, accident-free. An ALA license, which means we can take children out without their parents or teachers. So ALA is Outdoor Activities or Outdoor Adventures Licensing Authority, which is run by the HSE, a government department. So it's very difficult to get an ALA license, but it gives peace of mind to parents and to organisations such as schools.
Peace of mind and peace and quiet, I guess, as well.
Absolutely.
Happy days.
Believe it or not, we had courses through the summer where parents were ringing up and saying, we've got 8 or 10-year-olds, could you take them out for an adventure day? And then I only to later find out that these guys had gone off for a nice meal somewhere then.
Sounds about right, yeah.
Yeah, middle of the summer holidays, pulling their hair out, thinking, oh God, yeah.
Brilliant. Well, I guess they've got, in cases like that now, they've got it all. They can tick all the boxes in one, can't they? They can send their kids off with you. The meeting point could be the Butcher's Arms. They could have their meal in the Butcher's, and then everyone's a winner. There's a meeting point after. Bob's your mother's brother.
That's what happened, yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah, brilliant. Fantastic. What a great idea. Brilliant stuff. So you've agreed to give away a competition prize for us, Huw?
Yeah, so...
do you want to tell us about that?
Yep, next month we are going to be offering National Navigation Award Scheme formal qualifications for map, compass and navigation, hill navigation and so on, yeah? So what we're giving away is a basic course in hill navigation. So it will be classroom based and a few hours just going through the basics of map reading and compass work and pacing and timing, Naismith's rule, which is very important for hill and mountain navigation. So it's just a little bit of a grounding, a couple of hours for anyone interested in outdoor activities. We can do that.
Fantastic stuff. All you got to do, guys, if you're interested in that, like, comment, Butcher's Arms, and subscribe to the channel if you have not already. Fantastic price. Thank you very much for that, good sir. Anything else you want to plug in there? Anything else? Anyone else you want to shout out to? Anyone else you want to acknowledge? Anything we've missed at all?
No, not at all. The only thing I will say is that we're putting away, as I said, we're not for profit, so we're putting away some of the monies we do take that doesn't go into equipment to help sort of underprivileged families and organizations or groups and charities that want to send children on these activity days, but literally they can't afford it. So we're offering a lot of free stuff for those guys as well.
That's super cool.
Because there's a town just over the border in England that they've produced 2 Olympic kayakers and these 2 kids couldn't afford to do it without the support of schemes like we try to offer.
Yeah.
So why can't Merthyr do that?
That's it. Nah, brilliant.
You go over Talabont and Brecon, and they're heavily invested in tourism, and they use the canal. They're not allowed to use the reservoir over there. We can use the reservoir due to our passport scheme because we're a provider. We could, easily overtake those guys in terms of offering water sports and Merthyr's first paddle sports club.
Oh, brilliant!
And let's get kids involved, families involved. Let's make Merthyr a little bit more tourist friendly and offer a lot more than we do at the moment.
Definitely. Well, it's heading in the right direction, and you're heading in the right direction. So great stuff. Hats off to you for that. Keep up the good work, man. So you do you certify people and stuff as well? You do certificates, instructors and stuff like that? What sort of things do you do in terms of that, and how long do these courses normally take? Right.
So, for example, if people are doing management courses in college or in university or an MBA, part of our courses actually can count towards leadership and modules towards a formal NVQ or an MBA and so on. So we are quite closely linked into the education system. Hence now we're working with Banter School, because this alternative learning approach will actually give these guys hopefully a formal qualification. Now, these are pupils that may have fallen too far behind. There's no way they can catch up on a GCSE course.
Yeah.
It's a difficult course. GCSE, I remember it myself, was very hard. So, when you fall so far behind, it's very difficult to try and then catch up. So instead of these guys sort of leaving school at 16 with nothing and no chance of going to college or anything else, if we can help them, even if it's into the outdoor activity world or somewhere outdoors in construction, whatever, then, that's what we're trying to do.
That's awesome. Fantastic. It gives them something to focus on then as well, something positive to focus on where, and to work towards, where they don't really feel, I suppose, that they're working towards it because they're enjoying it as well,
Yeah, that's right. And it's a step up in life, isn't it?
Definitely.
It's a help along the way. So there are options for them rather than being, completely unqualified or no qualifications leaving school.
Fantastic stuff. That sounds brilliant, mate. Brilliant. Quick fire round before we get going then. Just a little bit of banter. So we'll go back to the Butcher's Arms now, the pub, all right? So let's have a look. What we got here? So describe Elaine, your wife, in one word, first of all.
Oh, one word. There was 3 pain in the...
Oh, whoa.
Elaine, in one word, hardworking. There's a hyphen in there. Yeah,
that's cool. That's fantastic. Yeah. I can agree with that as well. It's always flat out in fairness. You both are. So, David Rees, perm or natural?
He says it's natural. I believe it's natural as well. But he always had straight hair, but he reckon he spent a lot of time with hair straighteners. So
there we are.
The jury's still out, I think.
The jury is out on that one. We'll discuss that one another time. Maybe we'll have him on and ask him ourselves.
Can I ask you a question about David Rees?
You can.
Yeah. Is it true he's the best wrestler ever to come out of Merthyr?
So let's just say he had an excellent trainer. Good comeback.
Yeah, very good.
Brilliant. Okay, one more for you now then. Customer that leaves most frequently, forgetting to pay off their bar tab.
Oh, that has to be John Durbin.
Yeah. Fantastic stuff. Excellent, brilliant stuff. And great stuff, man. Everything seems to be going swimmingly well. Everything seems to be moving forward. The pub is thriving. So, like I said earlier, Gwen's favorite pub. She's like, we were in Porthcawl the other week. She's like, can we go to my favorite pub on the way home? Which one's that? My favorite pub. I said, the Butcher's. Is it? Yeah. I was, yeah, of course we can. She comes in there and she has
with Charlie, I think.
Yeah, it might be, but not just Charlie. She was chatting to all the customers and everything. Full-blown conversation. She can converse better than me. Brilliant. So yeah, you've got a favorite customer, and that is her favorite pub.
She's amazing.
She's brilliant. She's brilliant. She loves it. Amy loves it. I love it. We all love it. It's great. It's nice. It's something for everyone when you go there as well. You can go there as a family. Like I said earlier, you can go there on your own and have a good welcome and have a good natter, or you can go there in your groups and just get on with it. This is great. So thumbs up to that. And thank you for your service.
That's lovely, and thank you for having me on here today. It's been fun.
It's always a pleasure, mate. Always a pleasure. Top man. Well, you look after yourself. Good luck with everything. We'll keep in touch. I'd like to get out on the water with you at some point if I can as well, mate. That'd be brilliant if we can arrange something, because I got the old kayak clogging up the hallway there. So let's get it back out on the water. But good luck with everything. I'll probably see you on the weekend anyway. And keep up the good work.
And I'll put your name down for the Paddle Sports Club when we start it now.
Let's do that. 100%, mate. 100%. I'm well up for that.
Not just days on the reservoir, but we'll have overnight camps on expeditions on the way. I don't know, for some reason they're always near pubs. It's strange, but
so, what a coincidence, right? I'm sold.
Brilliant. Thanks, Carl.
Top man. Huw Carey, everybody, on the Caiman Show. Woohoo!